to all of you. Welcome to the daily news analysis by Tathastu ICS. I am Umang and today I will be taking a DNA session for the date of 29th of May. So before moving ahead, let me see how many students joined. So we have Mamta, Amrita, Maheshwari, very good evening. So good evening again. Now this is the channel, okay, so you can and join the Telegram channel for the analysis of the Tathastu ICS. यहाँ पर आपको सारे PDFs हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं सेशन के अंदर, सारे PDFs इसके अंदर मिल जाएंगे. You join the channel, okay. Now this is the front page of today's newspaper, right? Now let's move ahead with the topics that we are going to discuss. So from the today's newspaper we have 4 major topics that are there which we are going to discuss. The first one is talking about India's financial sector, and it is talking about the issues that are there in the financial sector and certain reforms are needed to take up to improve it. Okay, so we will see what this article is talking all about. The second article is talking about the deputy speaker. Okay, so it is talking about role and the importance of the deputy speaker, okay, because the position or the seat of the deputy speaker has been vacant from a very long time. तो हम देखेंगे कि किस तरीके से हम स्पीकर के बारे में पढ़ते हैं पॉलिटी में, how and what is the role of the deputy. Then there is another article that was talking about the remittances. So what are the remittances? Because there was the data that was released from the remittances survey of the RBI. So we will see what are these remittances and what is the changing trend that we are seeing. Then there was one article in the data section that was talking about the measles. Okay, so measles vaccine have prevented 9 crore deaths worldwide. So we'll see what is this measles, how is it caused, and what have been the improvements. Okay, and then there is one species that was mentioned in the paper because there was a picture that was shown, and it is talking about the Asiatic wild dogs, which are oftenly known as the dholes. Okay, so we will study about them as well. Okay, so let's move ahead with the session now. Coming to the first article. So we will also go through the points from the article as well. So it is India's financial sector reforms need a shake. So it is coming from which part of your syllabus of the mains? It is coming from GS3 Indian economy and GS paper 2 governance, where we are talking about the regulatory frameworks, transparency and institutional transparency that is required. So what are they saying? What is this person saying in this article? Let's just see that. Okay, my voice clear? Now am I clear? Am I audible to all of you now? Ab awaaz aa rahi hai? I was speaking slow. I was speaking very in a lower voice. अब आवाज आ रही है सबको? Shall I speak increase my pitch? Just give me a thumbs up, Mamta and Mukund. अब आपको आवाज आ रही है बेटा? Am I clear? Clear. Good. Okay. चलो. So India's financial sector stands at an inflection point. For the years, the government and the regulators have attempted incremental reforms banking, financial and insurance. BFSI. BFSI stands for the banking, financial services and insurance sector. But yes, there are certain frictions that are there. These are not just they are barriers that are deterring the efforts, discouraging the investors and dealing. They are saying that because of these issues, because of these concerns, what is happening? हमारे financial sector में एक तो जो savers हैं, जो savings कर रहे हैं, they are getting hurt. The investors are not investing properly, and also is causing a delayed growth. Okay, so a truly professional, transparent, and investor-friendly financial sector is demanding structural correction. Okay, yes, so now voice is clear. Now let's move ahead. So the first thing that is there, first concern जिसके बारे में बात करी गई है, बात करी जा रही है about the nomination. Now let's begin with the nomination and nominees. Now you must have seen वेरियस इश्यूज और वेरियस पैरामीटर्स, जब आपके घर पर आपने ऐसा देखा होगा कि बैंक में आपका नॉमिनी कौन है, फादर का नॉमिनी कौन बना हुआ है, इसी तरीके से सर्विसेज होती है हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. समवन इज मेड नॉमिनी फॉर other person, right, that who will get the shares, who will money that was saved by that person. But what we are seeing that in different financial institutions, they are having different verticals for the nomination. Okay, so the rules governing the nominee are startingly consistent. A citizen can nominate a single person for one account but multiple for another with rights attached. This patchwork approach does not have a logical or legal clarity, and it confuses the ordinary savers, and ultimately hota kya hai, people end up in the court, right? Then only the legal battles are people are fighting for the nomination ki main uska nominee hu, court mein cases dekhte hain, right? So a harmonized nomination framework with clarity on the nominee rights versus legal hair claims is overdue. Legal hair मतलब जो legally उस अधिकारी है. Okay, so we need to have a good structural framework for the nominee. Was one topic that was discussed here. Okay, then the second thing that has been discussed here is about the ownerships. Okay, now it is talking about, it has given one term, that is UBO. Anybody who can tell me the meaning of UBO? Moreover, India's current UBO disclosure thresholds create loopholes that allow entities to structure investment just below their limits, thereby avoiding identification. Anybody who can tell me the meaning of UBO? Anybody? UBO? UBO. किसने पढ़ा है इकोनॉमिक्स? अल्टीमेट beneficial. Okay. So at times there are so many companies where we are not able to know that who is the actual owner, who is the actual person responsible for all the operations of that company or name. But ये जो UBOs हैं, we don't know them. Okay, then only we are having the money laundering. Then they are moving out of the country and they are evading from the system, right? So they are talking about that we do not have a system there where we can have the right ultimate beneficial owner. Rishi Pandey, very good. Okay, so that is one thing that we need to work on. And they are also talking about another system, that is, they have given one more term that they are talking, that is shadow banking. This is also हमारे लिए ये terms important बन जाएंगे exam के लिए. What is this shadow banking? So they are saying that then comes the ominous blind spot shadow banking. The non-banking financial companies, the margin lenders, the repo traders and the brokers, now they are also offering bank-like facilities but without less stricter regulations. बैंक के ऊपर तो बहुत सारे regulations होते हैं, बहुत सारे strict norms होते हैं, but these have lighter norms, and since they are because they are not regulated in a proper manner, of course there is a risk. Okay, so there is a risk associated with that, and that can lead to issues like what happened in 2008 financial crisis that happened because in the United States via the unregulated derivatives like these. So they are saying that in India also there is a risk associated with these, with the shadow banking also. Okay, so this is what they have discussed in this article. Now what is important for us, we need to know that there are certain terms associated. For example, ultimate beneficial owner क्या होता है, shadow banking क्या होता है. Okay, so we'll just quickly go through again these points. The BFSI bank services and insurance sector continues to face structural inefficiency, right? Nomination rules are varying across financial instruments. different financial instruments में nomination का process अलग-अलग है, right? This is creating lot of confusion and it is leading to legal disputes. I told you that people are ending up in the courts, right? The corporate bond market. this corporate bond market is also one more area where in India it is little weaker compared to, is underdeveloped, and it is also affecting the companies or the businesses, right. Then the ultimate beneficial owner disclosure norms are also inadequate in our country, and this is also compromising with the financial transparency. Okay. Then retirement planning is skewed toward expensive annuity products despite more efficient or options like the जीरो कूपन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स. तो अब ये जीरो कूपन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स क्या होते हैं? जीरो कूपन गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स आर दोज बॉन्ड्स दैट आर where you don't have to pay regular interest, you don't have to pay, okay? They are bought at a lower price and they are redeemed at a far much higher value. okay? तो इनकी बाद की जो वैल्यू होती है वो बहुत ज़्यादा हायर होती है their initial of buying. Right. Then shadow banking involving the NBFCs. This is also another systematic risk area that we are having. Voice is cutting. Still, voice is buffering or cutting. Just give me a thumbs up again if there is any issue. So we need reforms in our system. That is what they are talking, and they are also saying that we can have a global benchmark like the European Union. Okay. Now they have what they have done. What they have a data-driven regulatory mechanism for controlling the shadow bank. Okay, so we can learn from the European Union model. Okay, it's clear. I think it's clear. Now, what you need to remember for the exam is terms. Who is an ultimate beneficial owner? Natural persons who control a legal entity. Why they are important? Because of the KYC norms. So who is know your customer norms? For that they are important. For regulating the money laundering issues they are important. हमें पता होना चाहिए कि कौन person है जो actual owner है, who is running all those things. Then the zero coupon bonds. These are those debt securities which are issued at a discount. Okay, now and they are redeemed at their face value. Okay. Then shadow banking, the credit intermediaries outside the banking system. Okay, and they are also at a potential risk. Okay, I'll speak more loudly. Okay, right. Now this is what was mentioned in the first article. Now the second article is talking about the importance of the deputy speaker. Deputy speaker की क्या importance है? Now this is a very important section from your polity, that is GS paper 2, Indian Constitution, parliamentary relations and separation of powers. So let's just go through the article. What it is saying: the deputy speaker is not mere a substitute of these. He plays an indispensable role maintaining the continuity of the legislative work. Conventionally, this position has been handed over to the opposition in order to develop harmony between the ruling party and opposition. So the deputy speaker plays an indispensable role, right? Now the position of this deputy speaker in the Lok Sabha has been vacant for the last 6 years. 6 साल से वो vacant है, अभी तक we don't have a deputy speaker, right? So they are saying that this is raising the concerns on the constitutional coherence and the democratic resilience, right? Now then they are saying the present scenario of the vacant position could be understood through some very important questions. Number one, the framers of the constitution adopted a parliamentary form of governance to ensure effective representation of the people of India, right, in the political system. Now this idea would lose the significance if the system does not function effectively, properly and smoothly. And it is also important that the debates and discussions between the ruling establishment and the opposition establishment are proper, and there is an accountability and a checks and balance system is ensured. This is what they are saying, right? So then what are the provisions related to the deputy speaker? Now the deputy speaker is, he or she is not a substitute to the speaker, right? He is playing a very important role. Now he presides over all the functions of the speaker, such as the private members bill, the house of the budget committee of the parliament. He oversees the debates that are there taken. He serves as the neutral arbitrator in the sensitive discussions, and the provisions for the deputy speaker are mentioned in which article? Article 90. Article 93 में provisions mentioned है, and the language of this article says what? The language is saying, as soon as the electing of the speaker, the deputy speaker implies urgency and necessity and not discretion. Then there is another article that is talking about the deputy speaker, is article 94. Okay, so this is also speaking the continuity of the deputy speaker's office until resignation, removal or disqualification. ठीक है. Then conventionally अगर हम देखें तो up to the 10th Lok Sabha usually the deputy speaker was also from the same party, but from the 11th Lok Sabha what we have seen that it is from the opposition party. तो जो speaker होता है वो ruling party से होता है और जो deputy speaker होता है वो opposition party से होता है. Okay, the position of the speaker goes to the ruling party. There has been an informal practice of offering the deputy speaker's post to a member of the opposition. Okay, so that there is a harmony that is there in the Lok Sabha and the smooth functioning of the Lok Sabha as well. Okay. अब आवाज क्लियर होगी. नाउ इट मस्ट बी क्लियर. ठीक है. नाउ देयर हैज बीन अ प्रोलॉन्ग्ड वैकेंसी एंड this is something which is not good. Okay, that is what they are saying, and of course it will have certain then according to, there is one more article. So we have article 93 that is talking about, that is related to deputy speaker. Then article 94, then the rule number 8 of the rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Lok Sabha, that also is talking about election of the post of the deputy speaker shall be given, the date will be given by the speaker. Okay, so the speaker will tell on which date the election for the deputy speaker has to be done. Okay, then it is saying that he is selected on once a motion proposing his or her name is moved. He is enjoying the same powers, same role as the speaker when he is presiding in the absence of the speaker. According to article 180, the deputy speaker has the powers to conduct the duties of the speaker when his chair is vacant. Thus, this vacancy violates not only article 93, 94 and 180 of the constitution, but it is also inconsistent with the rules of the procedure. So, इस आर्टिकल का मतलब क्या हुआ? They are saying that इतने साल से जो डेप्यूटी स्पीकर की जो वैकेंसी है, जो सीट फुल नहीं हो रही है, it is violating all these three articles, article 93, article 94, article 180 and the rule 8 of the rules of the procedures of the business of Lok Sabha, right? So this is what it is mentioning. Now what becomes important for you? Let me show you one question based on this particular section, right? So these are the three articles that are talking about the deputy speaker. You need to know that he is playing a very important role. Of course, committee leadership, he is overseeing the crucial committees like the private members bills and the house budget, and this is, find it, this is not speaker, this is deputy speaker here. Okay, so it will be deputy speaker because we are talking about the deputy speaker right now. Then debate oversight. Okay, so he is managing and guiding the parliamentary debates, maintaining the neutrality, दोनों parties के लोग हैं, ठीक है, and there should be a party balance. Okay, so that is what is the major role of the deputy speaker, right? Then of course, what is the implications? Number one, there is an unjustified delay and it is creating a constitutional vacuum. Now this is risking the crisis during speaker's resignation or absence. अगर स्पीकर का रेजिग्नेशन हो जाए या स्पीकर का एब्सेंस हो जाए तो अननेसेसरी एक डिले हो जाएगा हमारे उसमें लोकसभा में, राइट? एंड इट इज ऑल्सो द एब्सेंस ऑफ द डेप्यूटी स्पीकर इज वायलेटिंग द वेस्टमिंस्टर मॉडल विच द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और द इंडियन सिस्टम इज बेस्ड अपॉन. Now you can easily solve a question that has been asked in UPSC 2022. That's a simple question and I hope many of you will give me the right answer for this. So all of you will solve the question and you will send me the answers or you will mention the answers in the comment box. Okay, so it was asked in 2022, right? So with the reference of the Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha, consider the following statements, right? So let me see how many of you give me the right answer. Okay, now coming to the next article, that is talking about the RBI's remittances survey. Okay, now RBI has recently released a remittances survey. Now what are remittances? First tell me that. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Remittances क्या होते हैं? Anybody who can tell me what are remittances? Anybody? Rishi, Sumed, Hussain, any one of you who can tell me the meaning of the word remittances? Okay, chalo, koi baat nahi. Now you must have seen people who are living abroad and they send money to people living in India, to their family members. What is that? That is a remittance. That is the money that is being sent by the people who are living out of the country usually. Okay, so उसे हम बोलते हैं remittances, the money that we are getting from outside. Okay, yes, foreign countries से जो लोग रह रहे हैं वो अपनी family को जब पैसे भेजते हैं, money भेजते हैं, that is called remittances. Now that remittances can be divided into two, inward remittances and outward. Okay, inward remittances मतलब the money that is coming in India and the money that is going from India to other countries, that is called outward remittances. Now these remittances play a very important role. Why? Number one, it helps in increasing the foreign exchange reserves in the country. अब foreign exchange reserves बढ़ते हैं तो क्या होगा? Foreign exchange reserves बढ़ेंगे हमारे तो रुपये का stabilization होगा, ट्रेड डेफिसिट कम होगा, उसको भी हैंडल करने में इजी होगा, राइट? सेकंड, सपोर्ट टू द हाउसहोल्ड्स, people who are living in India and who are dependent on the money that is coming from their family members, right? So that will help them in getting more education facilities, helping them in fulfilling their needs. Okay, that will ultimately help in improving their conditions, living standard, and in fact help them in alleviating poverty. So poverty reduction भी होगा, right? Then this जो ये जो remittances आते हैं, इसको हम हमारे, yes, forex increase, very good. Then it is also added in the gross national income. So it is added in the gross national income. So of course it will lead to more domestic consumption. Domestic consumption ज़्यादा होगा तो growth होगी country के अंदर, right? Then it also helps in tackling the current account deficits also. So the balance of payment issue is also handled, right? So these remittances are not only mere money. This is a very important, it is playing a very important role in the system, right? Now they are talking about the structural shifts or the trends that have been witnessed among the remittances that we are receiving from different countries. So we'll just see what they are saying. Okay, so importance of remittances, of course, inward remittances. Now you can understand the word inward remittances, meaning the money that is coming to India. It has touched a record of $108 billion in 23-24. Okay, then this exceeded the FDI inflows and financed over half of India's merchandise trade deficit. इसका मतलब समझ में अब आ जाएगा आपको जब मैंने आपको कहा कि it helps in tackling the trade deficits, right? in a time of global uncertainty, these remittances are a stable and critical support to India's external current account deficit, right? So this is a regular supply of money that is coming. Okay, so what are the recent trends that we are witnessing? We are seeing that traditionally अगर हम देखते थे तो there was a dominance of the Gulf countries, ठीक है? Now this traditional dominance of the Gulf countries, वहाँ से जो पैसा आता था, that has been declining. Okay, now we have the advanced economies like the USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Singapore. Now they are accounting almost 51.2% of the remittances that are coming from these advanced economies. इन कंट्रीज से सबसे ज़्यादा पैसा आ रहा है, ऑलमोस्ट 51%, ठीक है? पहले गल्फ कंट्रीज पे से ज़्यादा आता था. नाउ दिस इज रिफ्लेक्टिंग अ शिफ्ट इन द माइग्रेंट प्रोफाइल. इससे हमें पता चल रहा है कि माइग्रेंट्स कहाँ ज़्यादा जा रहे हैं. ओके, नाउ दे आर शिफ्टिंग मोर फ्रॉम अ लो स्किल्ड जॉब्स टू ऑफ द गल्फ वर्कर्स टू हाई स्किल्ड हाई पेड जॉब्स इन द एडवांस्ड इकोनॉमीज. गल्फ कंट्रीज में मोस्ट ऑफ दी वर्कर्स अगर आप देखेंगे माइग्रेंट्स जो जाते हैं, दे आर गोइंग फॉर लो स्किल्ड जॉब्स, ठीक है, एज टेक्नीशियंस एंड ऑपरेटर्स, एज लेबरर्स. बहुत सारे माइग्रेंट्स जो थे वो मेजर चंक इन जॉब प्रोफाइल्स के लिए जाता था, ठीक है. बट अब ये जो डेटा आया, इससे हम क्या इंटरप्रेट कर पा रहे हैं कि ये जो 51% रेमिटेंसेस आ रहे हैं एडवांस्ड इकोनॉमीज लाइक यूके, यूएसए, सो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट देयर इज अ शिफ्ट इन द माइग्रेंट ट्रेंड ऑल्सो. That shift is telling what? That we are having more high skilled people and who are in the advanced economies. Now it has implications. Migrants in the advanced economies have more stable earnings and they are less affected by the oil or the commodity market cycles, right? Then the concern what is arising, as the migrants settle permanently abroad, they may send less money in the hand over time. So this is one implication that it can have. But now there is one more thing, one more trend that we need to study. Transfers over 5 lakh and above are made by up to 29% of the remittances values, despite being just 1.4% of the transactions. Listen this carefully, okay? This indicates that high earning professionals are driving the remittances. So this could be one particular line in one of the MCQ that they can ask, that the high earning professionals are driving the remittances. Yes, this is right. Why? Now what they are saying कि almost हम देख रहे हैं कि 5 लाख से ऊपर के जितने भी transactions हो रहे हैं, they are contributing almost 29% of the total remittances. जितना भी पैसा आ रहा है उसमें से 29% जो पैसा है वो बड़े बड़े ट्रांजैक्शंस हैं. बड़े बड़े ट्रांजैक्शंस होने का मतलब क्या है? somebody who is at a good position, somebody who is doing a very good job, right? They are earning that money. Okay, now these inflows are vulnerable to immigration policy changes in host countries, which can slow the high skilled migration. Now what is this mean? What is the meaning of this line? Now in these host countries, जहाँ पर ये लोग काम कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पर ये लोग वर्क कर रहे हैं, अगर उन countries को के अंदर there are changes into the immigration policies, these people are vulnerable to immigration policies. मतलब अगर वहाँ पर कोई भी वर्क वीज़ा रिलेटेड पॉलिसी में चेंज हुआ, ओके, या वहाँ पर माइग्रेंट्स के रिलेटेड कोई भी उस पर्टिकुलर कंट्री ने, फॉर एग्जांपल यूएस ने कोई वर्क वीज़ा पे लिमिट लगा दिया, या उसने लिमिट लगा दिया कि इतने ही पर्टिकुलर माइग्रेंट्स आ सकते हैं इस पर्टिकुलर जॉब में, या जॉब रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लगा दिए, तो ये जो मेजर चंक पॉपुलेशन है ना, जो हाई अर्निंग वाला है, दे आर मोर वल्नरेबल टू द इमिग्रेशन पॉलिसीज ऑफ द चेंजेस इन द होस्ट कंट्रीज. दैट इज व्हाट दे आर सेइंग. Okay, then there is also another shift that has been witnessed, that 75.3%, 73.5% of the remittances are coming via the digital methods or the digital channels, right? So this is of course because of the prevalence of the technical platforms and the fintech platforms that are there. Now if you see the digital usage data that has been given country wise, okay, so in Saudi Arabia it's almost 92.7%. If you want, you can remember this data, right? Then what about the remittances that is distributed in India? सो इंडिया में अगर हम देखें तो 51% महाराष्ट्र, केरला, तमिलनाडु, यहाँ पर सबसे ज़्यादा रेमिटेंसेस पे लोग डिपेंडेंट है और यहाँ पर इतना ज़्यादा परसेंटेज ऑफ रेमिटेंसेस आता है. कमिंग टू बिहार, यूपी 6% and the rest of the part of the country, that is 43%. Okay, now what are the policy recommendations that are being saying? Yes, Indian diaspora is playing a very important role. We need to deepen the cross border digital payment method so that we can make more easier transactions. Then we can make skilling missions state specific. Now the states where we are seeing, where we are witnessing कि वहाँ पर skilled labor की और skilling की कमी है, उन state specific areas में हम skilling missions को improve कर सकते हैं, so that वहाँ के भी जो लोग हैं they can get the opportunities to work and move abroad. Okay, then we can prevent the creation of remittances elite, where only rich or well connected families are benefited from the migration. This is what I was trying to say, right? Missing also, there are certain data that are missing in this report or this survey. So the survey is lacking the data on how the households are using this remittances. अब इस सर्वे में जो RBI का ये सर्वे था, इसमें कुछ डेटा मिसिंग भी है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ये जो पैसा बाहर से आया, ये पैसा किन चीज़ों में लगाया गया, वो डेटा मिसिंग है. क्या वो बेसिक थिंग्स को खरीदने में यूज़ करा गया, फॉर एग्जाम्पल टीवी ले लिया, फ्रिज ले लिया, या उस पैसे को कहीं इन्वेस्ट करा गया? सो दैट डेटा इज मिसिंग. ओके, so what you need to understand is about what is the remittances, what was the survey. You should know roughly, you should have an idea what is the trend that is going on. Okay, now coming to another article that is talking about the measles vaccine has prevented 9 crore deaths worldwide. Of course, it becomes important from your GS paper 3 part, science and tech, diseases specifically, and also from the governance, health and international institutions level. Now measles is a viral disease. Okay, it is caused by the measles virus only, the virus, measles virus. Okay, and it is a highly contagious and a respiratory disease. Okay, and it can result in severe complications like pneumonia, brain swelling, hospitalization भी हो जाएगा, and ultimately it can also lead to death. Okay, it is spread usually from an infected person to a healthy person by coughing or sneezing. Okay, it's an airborne disease. Okay, so it's spread through the coughing or sneezing, right? You can see the these pictures later on, right? It's a viral disease with almost universal childhood infection 60 years ago. Then the first effective vaccine was developed by John Enders, and the vaccine reduces the risk of developing the measles by 20 times. So vaccine is very important in this viral disease. So if a person is getting vaccinated, there are less chances of them getting infected, right? So there's a vaccine, MMR vaccine भी दिया जाता है, measles, और किसके लिए दिया जाता है? 3 चीज़ों के लिए दिया जाता है. There's a very famous vaccine. Let me see who will answer. Then what is the impact of this vaccine that has been seen? It has prevented almost 9 crore people deaths in the last 50 years, and it has also lead to reduction in the hospitalization and deaths. Okay, now what is important for us to understand, coming to the regional impact. अफ्रीका जैसी कंट्रीज और साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, यहाँ पर जो ये जो कंट्रीज है, इन कंट्रीज में there has been a very important role that was played by these vaccines. For example, it has helped in preventing the deaths in these areas. There are certain middle income countries also where there are not availability of good health infrastructure is there, right? So वहाँ पर ये vaccines जो हैं ये बहुत important role play करते हैं. For example, there was a program that is called Gavi, that was the vaccine alliance of the private and the governments were private companies were involved, and the government was also involved, and many stakeholders are there in this Gavi alliance, and their ultimate aim was to provide the vaccines for these important diseases to the people living in the middle income countries. Okay, so targeted immunization in poorer nations, closing the access gaps. So that is one thing, and over 100 million infants received measles vaccines yearly. Okay, so these were all the initiatives that have been taken care of. That is something you need to know just for your basic understanding. Coming to this picture, now this is a picture, whole territory. Now 28th of May, that was yesterday, is celebrated as the World Dhol Day. World Dhol Day. Yes, MMR, very good, Sumer Lakhar, yes, it's right, MMR. Now these dogs are what? These are the Asiatic wild dogs which are known as dhols, and their highest population in India is found in one of the zoological parks, that is the Indira Gandhi Zoological Park in Visakhapatnam. So you have to remember Indira Gandhi Zoological Park. Where is it located? In Visakhapatnam. Okay, so that is the, currently this park is housing the highest populations of dhols in India. This point is important. Okay, now coming to what are these dhols, now let's have a closer picture. So of course they have a scientific name, Quon alpinus. It is also known as the Indian wild dog. Okay, I like animals. Yes, of course they are more generous and they are more real than humans. Yes, right. They are also known as red dog, okay, mountain wolf, Indian wild dog. They are more in reddish and brownish in color. Okay, so इनका जो coat होता है, fur coat होता है, that is brown and reddish in color. Right. Geographical distribution अगर हम देखें इनका, तो you will find them in the eastern and southern Eastern Asia. Then it is, they range from Siberia north to Malaysian islands and the Indian peninsula. Coming to India, if we see, we find them in three major clusters, Western and Eastern Ghats, then the Central India, Central Indian landscape, and the Northeast India. You will find them in the dense jungles, scrub forests, steppes, mountains, pine forests. So a diverse habitat. So they have a diverse habitat. Yes, it looks like a wolf also. Okay, so आपके लिए ये सब याद करना important नहीं है, but you need to know that okay, they are found in a diverse habitat, right? Then what is their behavior? You will find the dhols in a group. Okay, आपको usually ये isolation में नहीं दिखेंगे. You will find them in a group of 15 to 20 dhols together, or these Asiatic wild dogs together, and they hunt together only. Okay, so they are highly social animals and they hunt in packs. So they are hunting in packs of 5 to 12 or 30 to 40, and they are known for the cooperative hunting. Cooperative hunting मतलब मिलके hunting करते हैं, right? And strong clan structure. Why? Because usually what the thing is that their teeth, their jaws does not have that much strength which can give a big bite, okay, or it can impact the prey species जिसको वो मारने वाले हैं. So and you will usually see them eating the organism live. Okay, so because they don't have that much strength. Okay, so you will find that the organism is alive and they are just eating it. Okay, so that is the major image associated with the dhols. From the exam point of view, you will also remember they are endangered as per the IUCN Red List, and they are coming in the Schedule 2 of the Wildlife Protection Act. Schedule 2, mind it, okay, not Schedule 1, Schedule 2. And in the sites also Appendix 2 they are coming. Okay, so Schedule 1 you know, highest protection, Schedule 2 little less protection. Okay, and IUCN Red List, endangered. So that is what you need to remember about this particular species of the, that is the Indian or the Asiatic wild dog. Right, now that's all for today. Thank you very much. I hope you will answer the question that was asked related to the deputy speaker. Let me see how many of you will answer. I will definitely revert in the comment box with the right answer. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.